Hi guys! Today I would like to talk about cybersecurity and particularly concentrate on the risks which arise when you start dealing with third-party vendors. I know that probably most of all have heard a lot about cybersecurity, especially in the light of the recent Twitter attack, but what I have also noticed is that whilst everyone was talking about IT areas and motivating all organizations to enhance their IT systems, nothing has actually been said about third-party cyber risk, which in fact is a much greater threat when it comes from outside your company-owned walls and causes much greater liability than internal security risk. Nowadays, organizations have been heavily relying on third-party vendors in order to provide them with the most up-to-date IT systems. However, what most organizations have been heavily underestimating is that even a single third-party involvement can leave your company's data at a great risk. So, what are these risks that I'm talking about? First of all, is outsourcing internal data of your company to an external vendor always increases the risks of data loss, especially if you involve more than one vendor. That even doubles or triples the risk. Second is data breach. This is something that runs much deeper than a data loss, because data breach might involve the leak of the data by the vendor itself. What you have to remember is that whilst you can control your own environment, once you hand off your data to external vendor, your internal controls become absolutely meaningless. And this literally puts your company's reputation into someone else's hands. And what is most important is that the more vendors you involve, the much greater risks you are exposing your company to. So, what can you do in order to mitigate these risks and protect your company's data? Firstly, reducing third-party risks depends on appropriate vendor selection. So what you should do is to vet all your potential vendors to ensure that they share the same values as your company when it comes to data privacy and risk management. Secondly, keep your vendors on the same page. A strong vendor management program includes regularly checks of the data protection policies and procedures of your vendors in order to make sure that everyone has necessary levels of cybersecurity in place. To keep everyone aligned, you have to find out if your vendors' systems have ever been breached, and then you should develop clear vendors' policies, including guidelines for the assessment of the information, data security, liability, and loss recovery. Thirdly, you should bear in mind that technical controls are difficult to impose on third parties. Therefore, the importance of contractual agreements should not be underestimated. It is vitally important that suppliers and third parties that are handling sensitive data not only agree to protect that data, but also be able to demonstrate that they are doing so in practice. And this is only possible via contracts. What you should include in your contracts is also security standards that should be followed. For example, in the United States, these standards are designed by the Center for International Security, whilst in the United Kingdom, the standards are designed by the UK government in collaboration with the National Cybersecurity Centre. Obviously, each country has their own bodies responsible for the design and implementation of the IT standards. So what you should do is check what is appropriate for your country prior to signing the contract with your vendor. So how TFC compliance can help you deal with your data security? From simple tasks like due diligence on your vendors and setting up management information for monitoring purposes, to more complex steps which include looking into international standards for information security management systems, helping you to put your data protection policy framework in place, and also assisting with the preparation of contractual agreements with your vendors. I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions or particularly interested in some subjects, please do leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and Instagram channels. Thanks for your attention, and I'll see you later.